From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
This afternoon finishing a lot better than this morning. Started with some heavy rainfall around the area. Doppler radar now shows most of the showers now pushing off to our east and moving away from mid-Michigan. Decreasing clouds is on the way for the rest of the evening hours. Rainfall totals really impressive. Over an inch for Lansing, 1.15 in St. John's. Grand Ledge, over a half an inch of rain. Lesser amounts south. We'll look at that in more detail coming up in just a few minutes. Tonight's forecast, 50s now. Temperatures in the upper 30s. By early tomorrow morning. We'll drop into the mid and lower 30s though by Thursday morning. Get ready for some frost, but a good looking weekend forecast. 6 News at 5:30 starts right now.
WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at 5:30.
Right now at 5:30, police in Detroit asking for help to find a woman accused of random acts of violence. Plus, when a woman didn't return home from walking her dog, that dog knew exactly what to do to help save her. And if you like happy little trees and the work of artist Bob Ross, get ready to place a bid at auction. Those stories and a lot more in all in the first 6 minutes. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Siobhan Klepfer. Let's go ahead and start the clock. Now we begin tonight with police in Detroit who are looking for a woman who they say attacked 2 other women unprovoked. This is the woman who police say assaulted the 2 victims in the downtown area on September 28th. The woman walked up to the victims, said something to them, and then punched them. Investigators add there could be more victims who have not come forward. In Kalamazoo County, a 32-year-old man will be sentenced to prison next month after a jury convicted him of felony murder and first-degree child abuse in the death of a 1-year-old boy. Prosecutors say Brandon Sullivan of Portage was babysitting Jacob Flowers in December of 2022 when emergency crews were called to the apartment. The boy was unresponsive and taken to a hospital where he died the next day. Sentencing is scheduled for November 21st. In Newaygo County, the sheriff's office is investigating a deadly crash involving a school bus and a car. Officials say a 25-year-old woman ran a stop sign last night and hit the White Cloud Public Schools bus. She died soon after. There were no kids on the bus at the time, but the 46-year-old woman driving the bus was taken to a hospital. Well, meantime, federal investigators are trying to figure out what caused a medical helicopter to crash on a busy freeway in California, leaving 3 people in critical condition. The chopper slammed onto Highway 50 in Sacramento last night, shortly after taking off from UC David Medical Center, blanketing the road with debris. Fire officials say there were 3 people on board, a pilot, a nurse, and a paramedic. Bystanders jumped in to help one of the victims who was pinned under the wreckage.
That one person that was trapped, the captain immediately sequestered the help of just civilians that were standing around. They were able to lift part of that helicopter out and get that victim out so we could get them loaded into the back of an ambulance and transported off scene.
No patients were on board the helicopter at the time of the crash, and no one on the ground was hurt.
Hi, baby, where's your mama? Hi.
Well, that cutie right there, that dog is Eeyore, and on September 25th, he led sheriff's deputies to his human family member who had fallen while walking. An 86-year-old Florida woman had taken Eeyore for a walk, and when they didn't return home when they were expected, the woman's son called the sheriff's office. It didn't take long for the deputy to follow Eeyore to the woman, and she was taken to a medical facility to get checked out. Good boy. In Indiana, the 69-year-old truck driver who police say was injured in a fight started by former NFL quarterback Mark Sanchez is now suing Sanchez and the Fox Corporation. Sanchez was in Indiana to call a game for as a Fox Sports analyst. Lawyers for Perry Toll filed the lawsuit on Monday. The lawsuit accuses Sanchez of instigating a fight with Toll late Saturday night. Police say Toll also stabbed Sanchez several times. Sanchez is also being charged with felony battery and several misdemeanors. Looking at news from the rest of the world now, the Australian Postal Service recently released video of carriers who they call posties getting hit in traffic crashes. The agency is trying to draw the public's attention to the dangers faced by their workers. They say more than 280 posties were hurt in traffic crashes last year, with many of those involving drivers not giving the right of way or being distracted while driving. In the Middle East today, people gathered in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem to mark the second anniversary of Hamas's attack on Israel. The memorials were organized by families of those killed, as well as the families of the hostages still held by Hamas. Now, these stand out from the official government events that are scheduled for next week, highlighting the split between Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government and many of the families. In the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, hurricane season is continuing in full force. Tropical storm Jerry formed today in the central Atlantic and is the 10th named storm of the season, according to the National Hurricane Center. Forecasters say Jerry is expected to strengthen into a hurricane in the coming days. Also, Hurricane Priscilla is now powering up into a Category 3 storm and is expected to make landfall on the northern Baja California Peninsula on Saturday as a tropical depression. Well, take a look at this. A jaguar was spotted trying to cross a river in Brazil and in distress, and wildlife officials were able to rescue it, only to find that someone shot it multiple times. The jaguar was very weak and had bits of shrapnel in its face and body. Even still, the big cat was stable last Wednesday and now lives at a zoo. Jaguars are protected animals in Brazil, and military police are investigating. Back here in America, river otters, manatees, penguins, sharks, and more just made a big move. The Mote Marine Laboratory and Aquarium just built a new facility in Sarasota, and it opens to the public tomorrow. Sharks and fish were moved at night to avoid traffic. Manatees required special trucks, and otters got to ride in carriers that you'd use for your dog or cat. There are more than 400 different species of marine life at the aquarium. In LA, 30 paintings by the iconic public television artist Bob Ross will be auctioned off to help pay for the cost of programming on those stations. At the direction of President Donald Trump, Congress cut public television and radio budgets by more than $1 billion. The hundreds of TV and radio stations are now forced to come up with other sources of money. This auction is planned for November 11th, but others will follow. Ross, who dedicated his life to making art accessible to the public, died in 1995. And speeding up to end the first 6 minutes of news, a company in Kentucky is showing off what it says will be the world's fastest moving walkway. The company, Beltways, says the first place its walkway could be installed is at Cincinnati Northern Kentucky International Airport. While current airport walkways typically move about 1.5 miles per hour, this one will go up to 3 miles per hour, but is capable, David, of going all the way up to 10 miles per hour, right? That'd be fun. The company also says it's in talks with other venues that need to move large amounts of people.
10 miles per hour. I mean, when you get to the end of that thing.
Well, apparently it would start off slow and then it would speed up.
Oh.
It could speed up and then it could slow down. Something like that.
Well,
if there were issues, because trying to get on at 10 would be tricky.
Sprinting to get onto the moving walkway.
I'd love having that in the station hallways. Wouldn't that be fun?
So nice. Yep.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Wasn't exactly fun weather this
morning.
No,
we're going to be speeding into some cold weather. I mean, it's already here today, and we're looking at some frost later this week. Maybe a hard freeze. So, I mean, it's that time of the year, but I don't know if I'm ready for it yet.
I know it's hard. All right, thank you, David.